Hi guys, welcome to Sons and Friends again. This is Sandile Shabangu, your host of Sons and Friends. This month we are celebrating Women's Day today. It's such a Sunday afternoon. It's so beautiful. The weather is good. The birds are chirping. The sun is out. Everyone is chilled. I believe that people are spoiling their women there at home. Otherwise, happy Women's Month. It's August. So today I decided that I should just get my friends a panel where we're going to discuss issues based on female and male. So that as men we know what to do going forward as men and discuss these issues. So abangani bami ngibatholile la, they are just my friends. I've known them for a long time. Ukhulekane, uSiphola, uDoctor. Guys, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sandile.
Yeah, let's just shoot straight to it. Let's not waste time. I hope you guys enjoy. Just don't forget to subscribe and like the page on Sons and Friends right here on YouTube. Okay, thank you. So I'm just gonna shoot straight to it. Ndukala nguSiphola. No much pressure, am I out?
Yeah.
So I just want you to tell us ukuthi ukuba indoda, what does being a man mean to you?
Okay. Being a man, it's actually mostly about loving.
Yeah.
To be a man is to love.
Yeah.
We, as men, all that we do, we do it with passion. If I'm a Kaizer Chiefs fan, have you seen like how passionate I am, like
yes,
in supporting my team? That love, that's what being a man is. It's all about.
Okay.
If you love something, if you are in love with someone or you love something, it comes naturally for you to protect. It comes naturally for you to provide and support. Okay. So that's what for me being a man is.
Oh, nice.
Love, a lover. Yeah.
Yeah. Being a man is being a lover.
Yeah.
No, thank you, Sandy. For me, being a man means to lead.
Okay.
To be a man, I feel as men, leadership comes easily. It comes naturally for us. We are custodians. We are custodians of those that we are leading. We are custodians of those who are following us. For me, that's what being a man is to lead.
Okay.
And leadership comes with loving, as Paula has alluded to. It comes with loving, protecting, nurturing. That's what it means to be a man in my world.
Doctor.
Yeah. Greeting once more. For me, being a man, you know, when God created everything, I'm going to put it in the biblical point of view.
Yes.
God made us aware that being a man, you're not only thinking about yourself. Being a man, you are more aware of your surroundings. Being a man, you are more aware of how people are received. For instance, the loving part Sipo was talking about. A man would not only look on things based on his own perspective.
Yeah.
He looks in the perspective of how many people are going to receive what the man is providing, for instance. Because we are providers as men.
Yes.
A man also has to do with providing the security you were also alluding on. A man is all that a family can be. If a man is a visionary, a man sees things that other people, for instance women, cannot see. A man sees ahead. For me, that's being a man. A man has this courage to become to allow the family to become what it has to be. Yeah.
What you mentioned beautiful words, protection and providing. What happens when a man is not able to provide?
Okay.
What happens when a man is not able to protect? Is he still is he still
a man
regarded as a man? Allow me to talk about this COVID situation that has this pandemic that has hit the whole globe.
That's good.
Where we're hit by a lot of retrenchments. Men and a lot of men have lost their jobs. They're not able to provide. What happens in that situation where a man is no longer able to provide? How do we still regard him as a man?
On that, you mentioned something about leadership.
Yes.
Being a man doesn't always have to be about material things. When you are a provider, you don't only provide things that are tangible. You provide things that are psychological to the family. A man can bring the calmness into a storm that a family is going through. You understand that if a situation whereby a company is losing more people, think about the man who employed all those people. That person as well has employed a number of people that he doesn't feel good by decreasing the profit rate of the company that he is leading up to. You understand? So now, in the context you're asking the question from, that how is a man then going to be viewed if that person has lost his job? When you've lost your employment, that's where the creative part of a man comes into place. You cannot say you're going to approach life the same way if a disaster has come upon the land. You understand? A man then becomes a creative being, as God is a creator. You take the nature of who God is, and then that nature of God comes into the plate. And then you make the family understand that, you know what, things are not going to be the same anymore. This is how we're going to approach life. The leadership point of view comes into place.
I like what he's mentioning about being creative. Yeah, you know, sometimes being creative, it can also mean creating a safer environment, creating a hopeful environment for your family, you know.
In the midst of the
in the midst of the storms. You can be that
the shelter that they need.
That strength,
security as well.
That's nyantola matot. And I get the gist. I believe that you all come off like from a biblical point of view, obviously loving and providing, as you said already. You guys said the mouthful. So now, as men, I mean, we have a lot that we are dealing with. You said it nicely. COVID has destroyed a lot of people's lives in terms of income. Yes. So let's talk more about body shaming. You know, because Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, everyone is about, you know, pictures. You take 100 pictures and then you only post 2. You know, at most 2 out of them. So how do we then, as men, why are we not building each other? As men, why are we body shaming each other? Like, from your side, why are we doing that?
Okay, should I start?
Yes.
Okay. In terms of body shaming, growing up, funny enough, I've been called big head.
And
I'm like, okay. But then it was a problem for me because, you know, they didn't see worth of me having this big head. Now I know why I have this big head. It is not just full of whatever it's full of, but then it's full of good things now, because, you know, body shaming, it decreases the level of confidence in another person. So a person becomes more approaching to life, and then they become more observant on what they don't have, that what others are having. So when a person body shames another person, they themselves have not recognized who they really are or what they are worth. So if you can see another person based on God's lenses, why they have been developed that way, you wouldn't body shame another person. So body shaming for me in this context, why men are body shaming other men, is because they were not helped to identify and to be comfortable with who they are. For instance, a nose is for breathing. You understand? It doesn't matter what size of it. Actually, it does matter, because the size of the nose is in proportion to the size of your lungs. How for you to breathe, for instance. The eyes you have, they are there for, you may have big, beautiful eyes. The reason why, God has a reason. Your purpose is not to body shame another person of those eyes, is to find why they were created with those eyes. So you wouldn't body shame another person.
Yeah, true. You know, I've always thought that people who body shame others, they are just projecting who they are, you know,
inside.
Who they are inside. They're just projecting it to the next person. But then I've also came to realize that some, they're trying to hide. They are trying to hide their low self-esteem to appear as if they are that confident. You know, if I am body shaming Usandile, Sandile, then
Yes.
I feel good about myself. I feel better that I was able to make the next person feel bad, and I take that as one of my
Strong point.
yeah, as one of the things that I hide with. So most people, if most people who are doing that, because it's also associated with bullying as well.
Yeah.
You know.
Brokenness as well.
And brokenness, because most people, like in our society, they're coming from broken families.
True.
Where they're coming from, they might be projecting it now, but then it's more than that. It's deeper than that.
Yeah.
So for me, if I see someone body shaming another person, then I take a closer look at who are they
are.
where are they from, and what contributes to that. So as men, we should be in a position to reach out, not just love, say
Yeah.
he's so skinny, or he's too fat. We should take that opportunity to say, okay, my brother just said something bad about Omunye Umuntu. Is he fine?
Yes. Why is he saying
Why is he saying that? Yeah.
Okay, on that point, before I come to you, there's a stat that I was checking just on Wikipedia and Stats SA, which there's more than half of women are made at 56%, killed by their male partners. You know, we know that we have a gender-based crisis here in South Africa. If you want the details, I mean, I can read them, all of them, but
Yes.
they're on Wikipedia and Stats SA. They are scary, you know. So, as we talk about body shaming, but from your side, how can men stand together, you know, because women can't fight this. Honestly, this gender-based violence, we need to fight it as men. So how can men stand together and say, okay, my brother, I see that you are abusive, you know, but instead of casting you out, how can I help you?
I think the answer to what women are faced with in this generation, the answer lies with us men. There's a lot of girl child programs, which are aimed at building the girl child to be competitive in the workplace, to be competitive in society. But when you look at this scenario or this issue closely with a microscope, you find that now no one is caring about the boy child. You know, the boy child then is neglected.
Yeah.
And because of that, there's a sense of brokenness.
True.
What we see is broken men coming from broken families who are neglected by the system. The very system that says you'll see how you make your way out of this
Situation.
out of this situation. How do we solve this? I think it's education. I think the answer to what we are faced with is education. We, as a man believes, a man shall be. You know, so we need to instill values. We need to go back, and we need to go back and effectively educate men, the boy child, what it is to be a man. Because if we find that we are able to teach these young boys that it is not right to hit a girl child, it is not right to steal, it is not right to kill. They grow up with these values, but now who's teaching them?
Because the fathers are absent.
The fathers are not there. And now when the good men do not teach the children, the bad guys will. The bad guys will teach the children, the boy children. They grow up and then it becomes a cycle.
I understand you very well.
So education is the answer for me.
Also, just to jump into that as well, I understand also you mentioned something very good. It's a good initiative on the female side. The things you mentioned about taking a girl child to work and all stuff, and there's nothing on the boy side. I think now the solution, Ms. Sandile, would be let us be men who create things as well in terms of those atmosphere for men to not only feel ashamed by exposing their weaknesses, in a point that you yourself as a person, for instance, there was a video I was watching one time that how many men looking in a relay race. A relay race is whereby you hand a baton to someone else. You hand the baton to someone else. So how many grown-up or matured men are actually handing over the baton to the upcoming generation? Why do I say that? Because we cannot expect by osmosis that men are going to become. You understand? The baton has been passed on to the women by mothers and all stuff. But if you are a man and you've matured enough and you've gone through situations whereby you need to pass on whatever you just got as to make you matured, let it be to someone else who's younger than you, because in mentorship you relive your life through another person. You understand? Mentorship programs should be in place for a man-to-man baton passing, if I may say. Because now, if you are not going to be passing on something that you've learned so hardly that you said with Indoda is was born. You understand? So now, if Indoda is born, now what do you mean by that? You understand? So I think that as now we are discussing this situation or this whatever interview we're having here, we should be finding ourselves to be heading programs that are going to help to enrich a young boy from an early age. 5 years or 7 years, that's the first that's a good age to start a young child. You understand? So I think those are the solutions we can now put into place.
But the men are broken. The men are broken. So
from where? Which age?
I mean, let's just say the generation that they are coming from, they were fighting a system, a very bad system that left them scarred.
Yes.
You know, that really took away their dignity. So for us, I sort of understand why sometimes one has to, fend for himself, because this man is broken, and because his brokenness is projected to me. Now I can't expect him to heal me. I can't expect him to mentor me, because
my point of view is this: not all men are broken. You understand? Not all men are bad as we say they are bad. However, now they're into AMB, ivala into entle.
But then we need to come to a point on where does this come from? This brokenness, this.
Yes, that's my point.
As I'm mentioning it, the way I'm seeing it here, still addressing the issue of gender-based violence. Number one, for our women to be safe, we need to break two things. Number one, it's patriarchy. Number two, it's feminism. Those two things, according to me, they are the cause of all this, because male and female, they can both coexist in harmony and in peace. But then patriarchy, there are elements. Actually, patriarchy, it's in its entirety, it's not really a good thing to promote. Like for instance, if a society has too many empowered men leaving women and not empowered, we are going to have issues. We are going to have social ills. If women are more empowered than men, we are still going to have issues as well. So balance, which is what patriarchy and feminism seeks to achieve, one over the other. And that's not how God designed it. That is not how God wants it to be. So now, for us as men, I understand that freedom is not given, it's taken. As a beneficiary of patriarchy, it's gonna be hard for me to let go of my privilege as a man. So we need now women to rise. We need women to rise and direct this conversation and direct this fight. But as men, what we can do currently, what we can practically do, number one, is to expose our friends, is to expose our brothers. It is to expose any form of violence that we see in the community. Our fathers, we must stand up to our fathers. We must take a role of a protector, as you say we are. And now, number two, we must be in a position now. We must be in a position to stand side by side with women in fighting against men who are perpetrators. Because it cannot be correct to say if someone says Usipho ungengulile, you will be the first one to say no. I know. It never happened like that. That one, but he will never do something like that. But also, it's not only you as my friend. My mother is not going to allow her son to go to jail
because of something.
This is actually
sorry, sir.
way bigger than us.
So hence I am saying women themselves, if I can go home and say I'm being accused of rape, my mother should be the first one to take me to the police station. She should be the first one to say I believe the girl.
Because I know my son.
Whether you know your son or not, the fact that your son raped,
The law takes its place.
you must be the first one to take your son to the police station, because now the biggest protectors of patriarchy are women.
They uphold it.
This is an interesting topic, because actually we should have just discussed gender-based violence.
It's okay, but the contributing factors are there.
Yes. So with that said, I just want to ask, like, what are the strongest points of men? Because I know that we have, as much as we are strong physically, masculine, we are, so we are stronger together at the same time. So that strength, why don't you use that strength to our advantage as men? Just in short, just to say, okay, this is what you can do going forward, because we can overpower women, by one-on-one.
Naturally.
But why are we using that against them?
Okay. Yeah, no. Look, men are lovers. Let me speak for myself. I find loving to me comes easily. And I think the Bible does also support. It says men love your wives and women submit. So ours is to love. Let us love. Let us love our women. Let us love our sisters. And once you understand what love is, what Usipho spoke about, him being accused of rape. If I love my sister, the one who has been in such a case implicated, I need to ensure that the law takes its place by taking Sipho to the police station. But because I don't love my sister enough, we love each other, but I don't think we love each other enough to expose each other.
Yeah, no.
We love each other, but not enough.
Yeah.
I'm afraid my brother just spoke about men loving and using, but Mina, according to me, our strongest point as men is hate. Currently in our generation, we hate not only ourselves, but we hate our women. How about we use that very same hate
To love.
and hate? Number one, we need to hate abuse. Number two, we need to hate corruption. Because those are the two things that currently as a generation are holding us back as men. Turn that hate into hating what is wrong. Hate all the social ills that we have in the community.
That's very good.
Hate anything that has to do with violence, that has to do with oppression. That way, as a man, we will be using our weaknesses to fight our battles. That is what I am thinking, that as men currently we need to love what is good and hate what is evil.
Okay, I think in so many words we have kind of answered this question. I'm going to ask you from you, Doctor, just in a brief, like 30 seconds or to a minute.
Okay.
Like, what is that thing that is destroying men now? Like, let's not talk about with the research. It's 2020, it's August, Women's Month.
Yeah.
What is it that is destroying young people, especially men? Okay, even old men. On my case, what I've found to be most distracting to men, if you don't know your role in anything part of in any part of life, you will actually be like a person firing bullets aimlessly. Because if you are purposely walking,
what are you fulfilling as a man? For instance, if you are not in a position to be owning something that resembles you, for instance, like as a company, and you are trying to lead a specific person or a family, you want to be leading them astray if you're not within your purpose of doing something. For instance, if you are not, for instance, I cook, and I know that my purpose is to feed, and also on the side I'm a philanthropist. I cook to give to someone in need of food. I cook for someone who's hungry. That's my role or purpose. But then now, as a man, if you've lost your purpose as to become what the society will need you to be, I believe in my heart that what's breaking a lot of men outside here, it's because they don't have a purpose or a defined vision on where they are going, and they need proper direction from men who have already found their ways. Now, what we are seeing as men in our society, men who have already made it, or people who have found who they are, they don't know how to reach back.
Yeah.
You understand? So I think what's causing a lot of chaos in our society is that men are not finding or knowing what their purpose are in this world.
No, one more last question to you guys is, how can we then use our influence, because we are more influential than, and you know, especially the young guys now. I mean, social media is there, we see the influencers. Yes, there are females, a lot of them, and they are coming in numbers, but as men, because we are discussing men issues here, how can we use our influence on social media to actually preach the good news to other?
Let us take social media and use it to our benefit as the answer to break down what the social ills. So let us have these conversations on social media where we are able to reach more numbers, and from there we'll then be able to break down this.
I think he's right. We need to, as men, be the ones to lead the issue of rebuilding men. And with that being said, it's Women's Month, we know, and we want to express our love to our women, to our mothers, our sisters, all females in this country. We love you, and we want you to know that as men, we are going to do and play our part in terms of bringing men back to their original position, as Dr. said.
Yes.
If men are in their positions, if men are operating within what God has purposed them to, I believe that most of the issues will not be discussing stuff like this.
That's true. No, thank you guys for coming, and thank you for watching. I think this was a mouthful. I think we're gonna need the season 2.
That's true.
Because this is too long. Honestly, it's too long. So from my side, since it's Women's Day, I just want to say Happy Women's Day to all the females out there, starting from my great grandmother to my mom to my aunt and my future daughters and then my future wife. What's your message?
Well, on my side, I would like to say, you women, you are so beautiful, you are so fearful, like you are a storm to be reckoned with. Life has so much more for you, so go out there, do what you can do as a woman, because the world needs someone like you. That's my message to you.
So, to all the lovely ladies out there, we love you, and most importantly, we apologize.
That's true.
We are sorry for the acts of our brothers, the hurt that they inflicted on you. We are sorry, but we promise to do better.
Yeah.
Be patient with us.
Yeah, it's about right.
I think James have like summed all of it up. Yeah. But yeah, I'll also just say Happy Women's Month, and as men, we shall do better.
Yeah.
And it's not stopping here. It's not going to be about the Women's Month only.
Okay, no, thank you guys for watching. Again, you will find us on the next episode where we're going to be talking to females regarding this beautiful month, and as we celebrate Women's Month. Otherwise, thank you guys. Catch you on the next episode. Sends here. Peace.
Hey, you must subscribe there. You must subscribe.
Thank you very much.